Right, I guess we are online. Hello everyone, good afternoon, welcome on board. This is the newest session of In Conversation with Entrepreneurs, which is a part of our British Council Creative Spark program. And we have very exciting guests today with us, Einar and Hokuma. I will be introducing them in a couple of minutes. For the meantime, I would just like to share some housekeeping rules and also give a couple of information. This session will be recorded. It will take approximately an hour conversation. And the purpose of this session is bringing together young people and prospective young entrepreneurs with the experts in the sector, as well as the well-established entrepreneurs to learn from each other, get some tips and insights from them. So while we are waiting for the audience to join us, I think we will start in a few minutes. Just want to check, how is everyone? I would like to check with my guests. Hokuma first. Hokuma, how are you? How is everything? You are based in Baku, I guess. Is everything going well? Summertime and in quarantine mode.
Thank you, Hande. Everything is going well. I think, this kind of platforms are very important and key to basically support each other during these times. And it's one of the great initiatives of British Council, I would say, to get everyone together, basically, not to miss anything, to learn from each other, from our experiences, and to do what we can do, better during these times, not to feel down.
Yeah, definitely. I think we work quite a lot on online delivery and sharing content online with the audience and the beneficiaries that we work in during that period. Einar, how about yourself? How are you doing? How is everything?
Well, hello everyone. I mean, lots of you already know me. If you're not watching this for the first time, I usually host this kind of thing, but this time we gave the honor to Hande, my wonderful colleague from wider Europe region, and we also have Hokuma with us, who is from Yarat Contemporary Art Space, and they're our partner for lots of arts projects. And actually today I'll be talking about marketing. I have a short class for you, and if you stick with us and you finish the session, you'll all be professional marketers by the end, and your business will grow like 300% in one day. So that's my promise to you.
Sounds very promising.
Thank you very much, Einar. Yeah, it sounds very, very exciting. So I guess we can kick it off slowly. I would like to make the official introduction now. Again, welcome everyone to this In Conversation with Entrepreneurs session of British Council's Creative Spark program. The aim of this session is bringing together the sector experts like Einar and Hokuma and the entrepreneurs with the young people, young prospective entrepreneurs together for some tips, some practical advice, and sharing their experiences, hearing from their experiences. Why we are doing this is the part of an element of Creative Spark program that we organize in 7 countries of wider Europe region in Central Asia, South Caucasus, and Ukraine. Azerbaijan is one of our program countries, and the purpose of this program is helping young people, young entrepreneurs to build their enterprise skills, English skills, so that they can start their own businesses or they can create their own career paths in creative economy sector. We do this through our UK partners, UK stakeholders, and we have lots of offers and content being provided by the UK partners that we have. I also would like to share some exciting news that we are hosting at the moment. We are organizing a very exciting enterprise pitch competition as British Council. This is called Creative Spark Big Idea Challenge. And at the moment, the online voting has kicked off on our platform. So if you're interested if you would like to hear about these brilliant ideas that young people from Azerbaijan and from other countries that we work in developed, please check your British Council website, our British Council websites or social media accounts, and have a look at these ideas and vote for your favorite one. Accordingly, we will be providing some prizes for the winners of this category. And everyone makes a difference, so please check it out.
And Hannah, just to add, so many exciting new big idea challenge ideas on the board this year for Azerbaijan, and we have several universities represented. It's Azerbaijan University of Architecture and Construction, Baku Music Academy, Ada University, Center for Analytical and Economic Reforms, UNEC, and Hazar University. So lots of universities on board, lots of participants. Is going to be very exciting.
Thank you very much, Einar. So this was our message and the call to action. Okay, so let's move on with the session today. Today's topic is effective PR and communication in entrepreneurship and SMEs. I'm sure everyone agrees with me that this is a very critical topic, a very critical element for entrepreneurs that they should be skilled about for successful businesses, to promote their business ideas and also promote their products in the market. So we have fantastic speakers who are expert on these two areas. First of all, Hokuma Karimova. She's the head of PR and communication in Yarat Contemporary Art Space, which is one of the biggest art space in Azerbaijan. She has lots of experience in that sector, in PR and communication, and also working as a trainer and a coach in that area as well. Our second guest is Einar. Einar is my colleague, lovely colleague, and also the marketing manager for British Council South Caucasus region, including Azerbaijan. And he has also lots of experience in design, marketing, web development and communication. And he's also doing a brilliant job in our British Council projects and programs in the region. Okay, so I would like to give the floor first to Hokuma. Can you please unmute yourself and share your experience in the sector and also the presentation with us? Floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Hande, for the floor. Just using the opportunity, I would like to say a little bit briefly about Yarat. Yarat, as you said, is contemporary art organization in Azerbaijan. Being in the market from 2011, we started getting really further from 2015. Once we moved to our permanent space in New Boulevard. Most probably the people watching us have been in our space, hopefully. From 2015 onwards, one of the first questions in front of us as contemporary art organization was how to build the audience, how to build the audience, how to understand the needs of the audience, and considering that it's not just art, but contemporary art, what we should do in order keep going, basically, and how to educate and enlighten people. So being in our permanent space and having the opportunity to host people, although at the beginning we were just doing the contemporary art exhibitions, later on we started having another very important line for us, educating and enlightening people about contemporary art. So we had lots of people with many questions while they were visiting our exhibitions, and it wasn't easy at the beginning. Even now I would say it's not easy, but still I can say that we kind of came miles away now, and we have kind of a community for contemporary art in Azerbaijan. And as I said, we went into depths and we questioned how, and the answer for this how was kind of having a lot of different kind of events for different kind of age groups, different kind of audiences in Baku. And we didn't stop just with the Baku, but later on we moved also to the regions, and we started with our traveling shows, going further and enlightening people about contemporary art further. Like people who visited Yarat, they know that we didn't just guide people through our exhibitions, but also how we delivered the message. The main goal of the Yarat was also through the events that we were doing. We also had a lot of events with British Council, different kind of seminars, master classes with emerging and young artists. Yarat being a very good platform for just beginners, young artists, like our art space in Old City. As well as at Yarat, we had different kind of, events for the families, for the kids, with all kind of festivals and everything. Looking back at 2019, if I can say, just being a little bit nostalgic here, the number that we reached was 122 22,000 people who visited all our venues and programs. And this number is really good, and this number is really, you know, a good number, not only for Azerbaijan, I would say even for Caucasus, Europe, for such kind of a art organization. But then, you know, as everyone, when we just faced with this pandemic, we kind of were like, oh, okay, now, you know, because we were doing everything offline and like meeting people, sharing the stories, giving the people, because, you know, art is this industry is very sensitive industry comparing with others. I would say people working for this industry, like even the employees like us, being in the environment myself already 5 years, it hasn't been an easy kind of stop for myself. But then, you know, we said like, we cannot stop. We don't have even a minute for this. And with our artistic director, we just sat and came up with a strategy. So how are we going to take everything now from, you know, like onwards? So basically, as everyone, we moved online, and we started doing all our activities basically online, like public programs, educational activities. We started working with the artists. As I said, the industry is very sensitive, and as in most of other industries, also in art industry, financially everything was not a good, you know, and for artists, you know, it was also a down season kind of a thing, if I can say so. So we, as Yarat, in order to support artists also, just, you know, we invited them to come and do live sessions, master classes. We even did really nice virtual studio visits, not only in Azerbaijan, but also in Moscow. We had a curator walking us through her studio. We actually looked at different kind of opportunities, you know, how we can keep going on. And from PR point of view, one of the key things and important things for me was to keep having the interest of the audience, you know. While everyone is disappointed, I can say everyone kind of got you know, fun times through art, right? Like music, I don't know, all sorts of, we had this small concerts, different kind of sessions online. So we were trying to give them also the feeling, have them feel better about the things going on. So basically, now these are like some of the things that we did, but except this, we also succeeded to work on the virtual exhibition, first time ever in Azerbaijan. And that was really nice. And we had different artists from different corners of the world being part of this project, and proudly saying that this project is ongoing right now, and it's one of the nice experiences. Anyone, I don't know if you guys tried it or not yet, but you can enter, register, and have your avatar and walk through the exhibition. We even have our guides who is waiting you online from 5 o'clock till 8 o'clock, 6 times a week to walk you through the exhibition and tell you about this exhibition, which is dedicated to pandemic times. So this is also one of the interesting experiences. Definitely, if you ask me, you know, it's, I would say personally, it's much easier for the younger artists who are already, say, having experience in digital world, say, be it a VR or AR or different kind of other techniques that they use to create artworks. For them, it's much easier. They have this experience, but already emerged artists, it's not that easy for them. But if to look at the positive side of it, then like having a conversation with some of them, they said it's kind of a time winning for them. You know, they anyway spend time in their studios, right? To create their artwork. So they were using this time to finish the things that they started, they couldn't finish, or work on their new concepts. So basically, in nutshell, we as Yarat are trying to do our best to have this platform active and also kind of be in cooperation with other art organizations and see what we can do in order to keep going.
Thank you very much, Hokuma. That was a really great introduction. And I have seen the website and the online exhibition platform. It looks pretty exciting. And I think we will touch base and get back to that because I know in this pandemic period how much shifted everything with the communication and marketing of whatever we do in our sector. So let's get back to that point. I would like to ask Einar now to give the floor and check his insight and also story with us, basically, and experience.
Right. So I work for the British Council. It's an international organization, UK's international organization for cultural relations and educational opportunities, which is what we do right now. It supports the development of friendly knowledge and understanding between the people of the UK and Azerbaijan. And we reach millions of people in Azerbaijan every year. Thousands of you take exams with us. Okay. By the way, there will be a session on exams. I promise you that. We do lots of work for arts and culture, but I also wanted to spend a little time just talking you through what makes effective marketing in general for any organizations, in my opinion. And, I'll just show you some examples from different organizations and companies that I've seen that I think will really help you to sort of nail that. And that's certainly my Bible. That's how I go along dealing with it. And I'll just add the screen to my stream. I hope you can all see it. Okay. And I'll be switching. And so my first basically advice in marketing is to learn by example. Okay. Whatever fantastic idea you might have had, somebody already probably thought about it and made something of it, and you can probably learn from them. You can go and explore and research and find out what it is. Second, feelings first, facts after. Okay, so when you are scrolling your social media feed, okay, or when you're flicking through channels on TV, you first get a feeling for what a product is or what a program is, and only then you can support that with facts. It's good if you can support feelings with facts, but feelings really work. And I'll show you some examples. Really generic one. I mean, Coca-Cola is great at doing this. I mean, I could have erased that brand from the bottle and you would have still figured it's Coca-Cola. And they pretend that Coca-Cola obviously makes you love people and fall in love and have great nights at the cinema. Obviously, that has very little to do with reality, actually, because you can drink Coke at home as well. But that's their brand image, and that's not only good because it's recognizable. It's also good because it makes you as a consumer feel good about yourself. And second is this guy. Okay, he's just like riding on a horse, but actually, this is the first example of modern marketing that ever existed. So before this guy, the marketing was like this. There was a person, he was just talking about a product. So I would tell you, for example, about the British Council. The British Council is this and this, it does this and this. So I would just give you facts. And this one is actually being developed by tobacco manufacturers. And I know tobacco is very bad for you, but we should remember this history because this is the first example of marketing where they sort of tried to sell tobacco products as part of this nature of a cowboy and being free and roaming around in the wild. And obviously Coca-Cola has learned from that very soon after. And this is actually by Flow, and they're an insurance company. Okay, and insurance companies had the most boring advertisements for ages. So basically, it was just one guy in a suit, because suits are representative, saying you should, buy this insurance because it saves you. And they completely flipped that around, and they, put this image of a powerful woman, and it's from Flow, and she gives you a different look in insurance that's modern and vibrant. My second advice. Crush the competition. Okay, you're not alone in this world. Okay, whether you've opened a new business or you're working as a marketer for an established business, there are some people who are doing similar to you, and you always need to take that into account and mention it when you're doing any kinds of campaigns. Okay, the most obvious one is here. I think the BMW and like Audi had a bit of a game here. Okay, so they like the BMW put the sign first, and then like the Audi played onto it, and then BMW went ahead and put this gigantic balloon with a Formula One car on top of it, on top of their advertisement. This one is from DHL, even though DHL logo is not even on it. Okay, so they took parts of their competitors' logos, FedEx and UPS, and put up them in this creative fashion to have this fed up. Okay, I don't suggest you need to do the same for your business, but it's always good if you recognize that there are other people doing similar business to you and like similar marketing efforts to you, and what you can do better. And this one is from Costa, which is like a coffee brand in the UK. They own like coffee shops and like cafes and stuff. And they had this very long-running campaign. How about they're the only ones serving proper coffee, okay? And they would say, stop committing crimes against coffee and going to our competitors. They won't say it explicitly, but that's basically what it is. Third, who's on your team? That's very important. Okay, and I don't only mean in terms of your colleagues. You know, I definitely benefit from someone like Hyundai being on my team, or someone like Hokuma where we work together on joint projects. But this is very important because whose voice do you use to promote your message? Pepsi uses Lionel Messi. You see, it's very simple. It requires a lot of money. You don't need a lot of brains to come up with an advertisement like that. Just give them a can and it works. And then this is from Moxie Hotels. They are owned by Marriott. Okay, so this looks like a generic advertisement, but actually they could have just done it with two models. What they did instead, they got two YouTube influencers, and I don't remember her name actually, but I'm definitely subscribed to her channel. And they used them to promote that. And you can imagine how popular this was on YouTube. And in fact, this was so popular that they started counting mobile clicks for you know, the check-ins after that, and at 1 millionth check-in they did like a whole party. Not that you can do nowadays with the lockdown, but. And this one is Gal Gadot. She's a popular actress. She played Wonder Woman. Okay, and actually this is a very smart piece of marketing, because what they did, and this is a Swiss company promoting cotton products, and what they did is that they paid a couple of actors and models to basically pose without makeup. But what happened is that other actors who were not even involved, and like models and stuff, started posing and using their hashtag for their no makeup selfies. Okay, and this basically is free promotion. And I think this is absolutely awesome. And this is also taking advantage of a specific trend. Explore the boundaries. So this is the most important part. Marketing for me and PR and communication is all about creativity. Okay, like if you're not creative, it's not going to work. Like, and why I'm saying explore the boundaries, no matter what you see, even though you learn by example, don't start thinking that I can't go there or to one place or another place. And I'll give you an example. If somebody told me before this happened that some company is going to spend millions of dollars having a marketing campaign of having a guy jumping from the Earth's orbit to the Earth with a parachute, I would have told you this is probably not marketing, this is scientific research. But actually, this is a fully marketing campaign. And, you know, somebody thought of that, obviously. They were the first, right? And it worked. It really worked. And it's really memorable. And this guy, this is Uncle Sam telling you to go to the army, okay? And why does this explore the boundaries? This was made in the time when there was no social media, no internet, nothing like that. And there were like print advertisements, and it could have just had text or a military man or something like that. Instead, they basically used a character, okay? You see this with modern, you know, some movies and some apps that they have like a animated character to go along with it. And it's the same kind of thing. It's personification, personalization. It gives you that friendly image and takes you away from the horrors of the actual product that might be promoted. And finally, this is from a very, very famous 1984 advertisement by Apple. And basically, this is really creative because it took the theme of a book, of a very popular book and about a totalitarian police state. And in the end, the message is because we created Apple in 1984, 1984 is not going to be like 1984 in the book, right? So it's a really creative idea, and it just explores how you can use popular fiction in your marketing campaigns and marketing ideas. And this one is actually from the Great Campaign. Great Campaign is a great campaign. I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. And the reason is they're using the word great from Great Britain, okay, and saying like innovation is great, sport is great. And I've collaborated myself with that campaign. And to be honest, it's awesome. But I think this one image goes a bit further. They arranged the basically payloads on this tanker to look like the UK flag. And it's great because it uses the real tools and real examples in nature to support your brand, and it's really cool that way. And finally, some of the things that I help do, right? There are actually two things you're looking at right here. The one on the left is one we did together with Yarat, actually, for Women Sound Waves. It was our selector select live showcase, and I really love this image because it's not like filled with too many faces of people and then like I don't know text and stuff like that, and it's just eyes of the four women who are going to be performing on the night, and it's such a celebration of women power as well. And on the right, actually, you've never seen that one because that never happened. That was supposed to be our visual for the British Film Festival this year, which obviously got postponed because of the pandemic. And inside the images, you see here like a shot from one of the films, right? And it connects with the theme. It connects with 2020 as a celebratory year, and it connects with the whole film experience. And the second one, this is an image with lots of famous stakeholders from the Alumni Awards night, okay? And the reason I wanted to show you this is the backdrop, okay? Photo backdrops work. Don't make them too complicated, okay? It might seem like a super simple idea, but it's a great idea because everybody just takes pictures in front of them, okay? If you want all of your people in one place so you have a very good image, do a photo backdrop. And this one is from our UK Georgia season. My colleague Eka helped me with that, and my colleague Nino helped me with that. If you're watching us, hello, I know you're watching us. And this is like this seminal image from the concert of Anne Meredith, right? And you know, it's just so modern, but at the same time, you know, it's like in a traditional kind of theater, and it basically encompasses the season so well, and it has this brand element of the season right across the middle. That's it. That was my presentation, and let's go back to the discussion. Let's see what's happening. And lots of people saying hello in the comments. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, everyone who just wrote to chat box. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Einar, for your very insightful presentation. I think it gave us lots of creative ideas and showed the role of creativity in marketing and communication, and the global journey of marketing, especially with where we started from and where we ended up now. I have seen a couple of questions on the chat box, but first I would like to start with the generic things that I would like to check with two of guests that we have today. There was one question which I just would like to clarify, asking about the session and what is it about. This is the newest session of our In Conversation with Entrepreneurs. And the topic is effective PR, communication, and marketing in entrepreneurship. So we are welcoming all young people and entrepreneurs, prospective entrepreneurs, to watch out because we'll be talking about that and also hear experiences and tips around that too from our guests. Okay, so my first question is actually about the importance of marketing, PR, and communication in this era, in 21st century, and especially in the times that online and digital marketing is everything. First of all, I would like to ask both of our guests, how important is PR and marketing for building your own business? And additionally, in this digital era, and in this conditions that we are living in COVID-19, how it has been affected? Can I ask Hokuma first?
Yes, thank you. Basically speaking, I would say art and PR has never been so much interrelated that it is now. because working with the artists and being in the art industry, and to answer this question, most of the artists, like if you ask them, they would question back and say, why do I need this PR campaign? Like, why do I need this marketing campaigns? I don't need it. They wouldn't ask how, but they would ask why. And then you have to answer, because these people, most of them are usually really into their work, and they wouldn't really think the importance of the latest story of their artworks. So it has always been this kind of a back and forth questioning and trouble. Even for me, working with the artists, I always faced with this kind of challenges. But then most of them already also do understand that it's kind of not a luxury, but a necessity. In 21st century, it's already a necessity. And that's why not all of the artists can do their own PR campaigns or marketing. They can put down their marketing strategy, but they do have people who do these things for them. Most of the artists do have artist managers who work directly with the PR firms. In art industry, we have, if you look internationally, there are many very successful PR firms that do work with the artist or the artist promoted galleries in order to do the work campaigns for the artists. But and the main job, of course, during these PR campaigns is to build the story. Once there is an artwork, the artist already created the artwork. The job comes for the PR professionals to build the story, to tell what it is about, and further on, this will help for the sale of the work and etc. Usually, all these PR campaigns in art industry, they help kind of first of all to bring the attention to the art world, because we go into this networking, we talk about this the art specific art piece or the exhibition about the artist, and after that it just goes in this, let's say it becomes a successful story. Anyways, I would say nowadays during this pandemic, if to answer your second question, if look at all the things that right now even Yarat is doing, video streaming, right? Like right now, we're also going live on this specific program. Video streaming have seen over 113% kind of rise in the number of average users. Like social media is being very popular. If we look at the numbers, like 83% of increase on social media use. If you look at the people, of course, we have always been online, like especially these PR people and marketing people, but then the numbers are increasing drastically. Average person is spending 4 hours. Before it was an hour and a half, but now 4 hours. You can see the difference. So it means that whatever is going on right now is going on online, basically. So the content, it has to be created very attentively. So content managers are involved very carefully. So it's not only one person job, but also, I believe not only in art industry, but also in other industries, it's a work of the team nowadays. It's social media, it's a PR manager, it's a content manager, and it's other people, guys, looking and taking care of the technical sides of all these things. So it's a matter of a team.
Definitely. Thank you, Hokuma. Einar, would you like to share a comment on that question?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think not a lot has changed, but I think what really changed is the technology. So I think a marketing person today needs to have some experience with technology. It's more like an engineering job these days, basically. I mean, I'm just doing this. I have 10 Adobe apps on my dock, and at the same time, I'm able to broadcast. you will understand that basically you need to be, in step with all these new technologies, new formats that are coming. Okay, like 15 years ago, when you designed a website or an image or like any kind of visual experience, right? You had pretty much the same screen size for everything, 1024 by 768, right? The older ones of us will remember that resolution very well. But now you have, like, for every single smartphone, like iPhone, I don't know, Androids and stuff, you have your own screen resolution. You need to design for everything, and you need someone who is able to do that. And some big organizations, they basically outsource this, and like they use design studios to develop their work. With British Council, it's a bit of a mixed approach. So some of the things we do ourselves, some of the things we do outsource. But I think increasingly, if you're a small business, it's really costly to order all the PR and marketing from somewhere. So you need to either hire or be able to do something yourself. Basically, in terms of this technology, you need to be able to use it. Yeah, that's pretty much the main point.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Einar. Linked to that, I would like to ask both of you actually, and this was also a question from Dilara. Thank you, Dilara. I had in mind too. What do you think are the most successful marketing, PR, or promotional methods that worked and didn't work in your cases, in your experiences? Maybe you can talk about your case in Hokuma in Yarat. Einar, you can talk about British Council or your previous experiences, like some concrete examples for the audience as well. Any methods that worked and didn't work in your cases and sectors?
Just to clarify, we're talking during the pandemic times?
No, in general.
Ah.
But you can also, if you come up with anything different in pandemic period, you can also share that one.
Okay, Einar, floor is yours.
Start with Einar.
I'm winning time here.
I don't know. There's been lots of examples of things that worked. I think one of my favorite examples probably is the season we did between the UK and Georgia quite recently. And the reason I think, by and large, lots of things work is because it was a joint effort by quite a large number of partners who were all contributing their bit. Okay, so the Tbilisi Metro was giving us space to advertise. The British Embassy was like an equal partner in the project, and they delivered lots of events themselves, right? And we had, fantastic website that was developed by a studio in the UK, and lots of things. It really matters, even if everybody is at their most professional level, right? The number of people involved and like the sheer volume of creativity they can all together contribute really helps, right? The second, I think, again, Women Sound Waves comes to mind. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm just coming up with the most recent examples because that's what I remember. And again, Yarat worked with us on that one. And again, lots of partners and like lots of professionals in this sphere, right? You have to realize, I think, it's very useful to be a professional or understand the topics of programs that you're delivering, right? Like when you're doing marketing for something, make sure you understand, be there from the very beginning, right? So if you get the vibe correctly, right, you can just connect with the feelings of people so well, right? And it's not even about understanding your audience, right? You can attract a large audience, but the question is, are they going to be interested in this, right? I can do an excellent promotion on paper for something, and then I don't know, I realized that most of the audience who came to the event isn't interested, or like we're looking for something else, right? Especially in the case with British Council, because we have so many different areas of work: education, English language, testing and assessment, right? Different kinds of exams and regional programs, cluster programs with other countries. It can get very confusing for people, right? And so to be able to catch that vibe is really important, right? And the things that don't work well are usually the things that you don't spend time on, that you don't have a breathing space to have enough time to think about what you're going to do, right? And then you just do everything by template. If you want to do something well, don't go by template. Okay, learn from example, as I've shown, but like try to make it unique. If you're using the same, I don't know, frame for the image of different projects, it's just not going to work in the end.
Thank you, Einar. Thank you very much. Hokuma, what about your experience?
Well, as Einar was speaking, I just kind of went back to the history to remember, to recall what we had. But one of the cases, for example, we had like Yarat does lots of events, right? Like last year we had around 488 events within a year. So we kind of face with different cases, and each case is different. And usually, depending on the time of the event, as well as how long it lasts, if it's a festival, if it's a one-time event or not, we kind of build this PR and marketing campaigns specifically for the event. So one of the cases, like, in 3 years in a row, we had Map Theater Festival. And comparing these years, I can say each year we learned something, and we were trying to develop that thing in order to reach a wider audience. Because I can say, for example, 2019 comparing to 2017, we did reach wider audience. We had more people interested in coming. We had less people asking just for the free tickets, but like more willingness to go and to buy those tickets and to contribute. So this was one of the nicest experiences. And from marketing point of view, like even 2018 comparing with 2017, we did it a little bit because the first year is usually a testing year, right? So we don't know how it's going to go. We don't go to all the angles, but just try. And then the second year, we did a little bit more. We had more alliances. We had more, like we had almost everyone kind of united around this festival. We had hotels. We had like all this big restaurants, cafes, like young people, places where young people usually go, involved in supporting and promoting the festival. I'm just saying the ones that were like really free of charge for us for the campaign. We also had like malls and other places who were supporting to promote the festival and to reach wider audience, because the idea was not just to sell the tickets, definitely, but it was for us kind of it wasn't the main goal to sell, but the main goal was to kind of push the idea of having more people consider going to the theaters, the importance, to understand the importance of going to theaters, like explaining their child that for the weekend we will not go to the restaurant, but we will go, to see the theater, So that's why this case was very interesting, even for myself to observe within the 3 years. But except that, definitely one of the recent events that we had was also a nice experience. We had it for the International Museum Day. We had most of the museums all joined together, and it was a really nice multimedia project that we did. It was during the pandemic. We selected several very active central streets and buildings where we actually showed different kind of artworks on the buildings for people to see from their houses. So this was also one of the nice experiences that we had, different kind of experience. And by the way, that project was curated by Sabina Shklinskaya, and we also had, of course, other alliances, organizations who helped us, as well as our Yarat team, to put it together. So, as Einar said, it just from case to case, it is like changing, and every case is a lesson learned to do something better, to understand your audience better, your audience needs better, and to do it for the next time, to have it to serve better.
Yeah, definitely good ending. Thanks, Fatma. You mentioned listening to the audience, so I would like to continue from there. When I look around at successful entrepreneurs, and you are both coming from culture sector, culture and arts, and they are very open to feedback and suggestions. So I think it's coming with the listening skill of the entrepreneurship. So I would like to ask what exactly, I would like to point the understanding the market, your audience. So what exactly understanding the market entail for your business, for your sectors? Einar, can I ask you first?
Yeah.
Maybe you have any tips and suggestions and
Easy.
how does it work?
Very easy. Let's do a meta exercise. Okay, this is a marketing product. It's a live session for Creative Spark where we're talking about advice for entrepreneurs. And this week we have a little bit of a different session. It's based on marketing. So if anybody has any great suggestions of what topics we can cover and what will be great for the young entrepreneurs, leave it in the comments or write us a message on the inbox and we will implement it. Done.
That's a great experiment. Let's see. So all the listeners, audience that we have in this session, feel free to make your suggestions, ideas for us, so that we can add it on the content in the next phases of this series.
That's how you get feedback. It's the most important thing. You just ask people, and you always try to gauge the impact upon people, and like to see what they say about a certain project, arts, education, business, whatever. Do surveys. There's different ways to do surveys now. There's so many analytic tools from like Google, from Facebook, from other independent parties. I use Buffer as well. Like you can use so many tools to basically help you figure out what the audience is saying. But also sometimes if you like to run a shop or something, someone who asks a question in a nice way also works, in my opinion.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Einar. Hokuma, what about yourself? I know you have a wide range of audience, art consumers. You also mentioned that you also work with kids, for instance, apart from the adult audience. How does it work for you?
I mean, actually, as I already mentioned, Yarat works with different kind of audiences. We cannot say that we have only one demographic group or one age group that we work. So that's why it's from one side, it's not that easy, but from another side, it's also, we are already kind of used to this and we know what kind of message will work with what kind of group. Depending on what kind of product we're bringing in, say if it's a masterclass for the weekend for the parents, we then have, like, even within this age group, we even look at what kind of age. Within the age group, we also have different groups, right? If it's from 3 to 6 years old, or if it's 10 to 19, we are trying kind of to adapt our program. And say, for example, we work with the schools and orphanages as well, right? When we bring those kids in, definitely it's not that like we have contemporary art exhibition, right? So you cannot just have the kid in and put the guide there and say, right, let's get the guided tour. You cannot just explain to the kid the way that you explain the exhibition to elder one. So we're adopting it. We're putting a special program, cultural program. Our public programs department, education program department is putting different kind of, using different kind of methods in order to adapt the exhibition, the text, so that the kids would understand, they would enjoy. It's not that you would just tell them the story and that's it. No, we do different kind of games right in the building, within the exhibition. We try to kind of speak to them in their own language. So at the end of the day, the main idea of having this kind of tours, guided tours, is just like to have them leave the space with the feeling that they would go home and ask their parents to bring them next time themselves to come and see other activities. So that's why the most sensitive thing here is the way you do it, the delivery. So you may have one goal, but different kind of ways of delivering the message. So that's why it's important to understand who is your audience and how you're going to deliver that message. What are you expecting from delivered message? And for most of the businesses as well, what will be your ROI, right? Return of investment. What are you expecting? That's one of the key things here. While trying to understand the market while trying to understand your role in the market.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Hokuma. I would like to check the chat box, by the way, for some questions from the audience. There was one link to the previous conversation, but you might would like to add something else in that direction. Fidan asks, saying thank you, and she says, how do you think which side of the marketing field that PR issues will be changed to negatively or positively after the end of pandemic?
I think it's as we don't know when it will end. It's really difficult to answer this question now. But hopefully, we would say. I mean, I think that there is no answer like it will change positively or negatively. But I think whatever will happen in an adaptive way. So because everyone understands that we need to adapt things and try to see the best way out. So be it in the art market for the artists selling their artworks or exhibitions that are on hold for us, for example. We opened 2 big exhibitions, right? Before the lockdown, we had like a Turkish artist, Ahmet Ergüt, and Azeri artist, Ferit Rasul. Both of their exhibitions are at Yarat. We put it, but then we couldn't make a public opening for it. Like no one would know, right? So right now what we do is just we promote those exhibitions online. The best what we can do is just to give the feeling to have everyone go through the virtual tour. And the best what we can do is just like to talk about the Yarat missions, to give space on education and enlightenment. So currently for me, it's hard to kind of say that it will go in a positive or negative way, but what I understand it will be an adaptive way. So we'll try to find the best way out.
And as far as I see, you are doing it brilliantly. Congratulations on how easy, not easy, I'm sure it's not easy, but how quickly you have shifted everything on this virtual way of delivery, as far as I see on your web platform. So congratulations
Thank
again.
You. Thank you.
Einar, would you like to comment on
Yeah, very quickly. I mean, look, you always have to, first of all, gauge what people are thinking about. I think in the beginning of the pandemic, everybody just started reusing the hashtag stay home and building everything about stay home. But you have to be careful about these things. In hindsight, it wasn't super creative. I think I changed that a little bit to at home with the British Council, which was a little bit better. But, right now, if you tell anybody to stay home, they're probably not going to have the best opinion of you, to be honest, after 4 months, right? So I'm not going to tell that to anybody, even if that's the right thing to do, right? So, that's one of the things. The second is, again, technology is very important. I mean, I think that before the pandemic, because big companies used to spend a lot of money to get like these professionally made videos and photos from people and stuff and put them up, and and they did it all the time not to break the flow. But during the pandemic, because of the lockdown, I think in many parts of the world, almost everywhere, we're relying more on mobile photography and mobile video, right? And like more compilations that are made using less professional sources, right? It's like almost if you had this session like a month ago, 4 months ago, you would expect that everybody will be set up with a professional camera, right? And in a studio setting with a nice light from the side. But like you don't expect that anymore, right? And that's what pandemic teaches you. And I think that's where we shifted permanently when it comes to content.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's very useful information. Thanks, Einar. Okay, so I think I will ask one practical question. Maybe it's useful for the audience who would like to build their own business, the young entrepreneurs on the scene. What would you, because there are lots of conversations as far as I know on that, about the budget of marketing, communication, and PR. And in different sectors, it might vary. But what would you think a reasonable marketing budget percentage of the year annual revenue or like annual budgets of the organizations, of your institution, of your business? Because young people might think, okay, maybe it's not necessary to make a promotion on social media, but it is obviously. But if they would like to make a budget plan, what would be your suggestions around that, like percentage-wise, maybe, please?
Hokuma, you go ahead first.
You want me to give you the numbers?
No.
Not the numbers, but maybe you can just mention annually we use X% of the annual budget for social media, for this, for marketing, for branding, something like
Well,
that.
again, for Yarat, it's a little bit different because once we have like festivals, we have big events going on. It's usually it's different. And then the other things, the events that I mentioned, that yearly we have around 500, almost 500 events. It's totally different. So depending on what we have, the budget is being definitely like organized for that specific case. But in general, what I can say is we also do put a lot of attention on social media, considering that everything goes digital now. So I myself prefer, to part most of the budget on digital media. Definitely, we do have our printing expenses because it's an art institution, and usually when you like we have big exhibition openings, we have costs like we do a lot of printing for the building, brochures, press releases. We also started doing newspaper recently. We do catalogs. So definitely there are sections in the budget that take lots of attention, like money wise, but we also do a big percentage of money for the social media. Usually it works very well on Instagram, if I can name it loud. But second comes the Facebook ads. So this is how we usually move on. Instagram and Facebook are the main channels that we use for the advertising.
Okay, so yeah, I guess advertisement sector is more shifting to digital in that era, so in that conditions with the pandemic.
Yeah.
Einar, any
Yeah, I
comments?
mean, just two perspectives. On a practical side, I don't know. It could be 10%, it could be 20%. Depends really on the product that you're trying to sell, right? Some products lend themselves a lot easier to marketing to a wider audience than others. Okay, if I tell people who are watching this, or people who have watched this or will watch the recording, that like sell me a pop song by a popular singer, it will be relatively easy, right? If I tell them, I don't know, sell me a brand of nails, or like, I don't know, lamps, or I don't know, air conditioners, it's going to be a bit harder, right? So it depends what product you're looking at. And I think the second perspective to this is that really marketing doesn't cost you anything, because marketing is direct investment. Whatever you put into marketing will basically result in greater value, right? Whether that's monetary, if you're doing a business, or like in our business, because we're basically a registered charity, in terms of like the achievement of our mission, I'll put it this way, right? So really, it doesn't really cost anything at all if you look at it in the broader terms. And if you are investing marketing into marketing, but you're not getting the returns, then you're a bad marketer. Okay, and you need to improve. It's very tempting for a new business to go on Facebook and click boost post. Okay, they make that button very, very visible, and it's obviously Mark's own design to make sure that you click that button. But do not click that button easily, right? I mean, it's probably not going to bring you anything. So think about what you want to do, create a campaign, make some visuals, right? Make it actually look nice before you put it out to people, okay? Select your audience correctly by knowing who they are, what they want, right? And then press that button. That's it.
Exactly. I mean, if I can interfere here, like supporting what Einar just brought the point, most of the businesses, when they just open, just go on social media, they think putting a lot of money on advertisement and shop now button, they will get right away increase in income, but it doesn't work that way, right? So you have to do your survey, you have to do your analysis before going ahead. just like put out that survey, right? Just check if your product is needed in the market or not. Just see the competitors, right? What will make you different? Why would I should not go Hande, but I should go to Einar? So that's the question there. Like, without putting these questions and analyzing the audience, most people are in rush, thinking that right now everyone is on social media, everyone is ready to buy their product, and they will sell in one night. No, guys, this is not working this way. So you have to put some efforts in a big research before you even enter the market, and you even have to think about your exit from the market. So how you gonna exit from the market, not to kind of spoil your image, or if I can call it the brand image or whatsoever that you're putting it out there. So that's just another point to support what Einar mentioned.
Very useful input. Thank you, Hokuma. Market research and listening to the audience, I guess I heard repeatedly, which is very important. And the practical tips that you have both shared are hopefully useful for the audience and young entrepreneurs, prospective entrepreneurs listening us today. Okay, I think we are slowly coming to the end of the session. I would like to check if you have any last comments, anything that you would like to share with us, with the audience, which you couldn't mention throughout the session.
If I may, first of all, as a former and more regular host, I want to thank you, Hande, for chairing this and moderating this. It was fantastic to have you with us. And Hokuma, thank you for joining. Okay, your expertise was wonderful to share here. And just wanted to mention two more things: is to vote for Azerbaijan's entries in the Big Idea Challenge, because that's where the young entrepreneurs are made. And the second is that next week on the 16th, we have in conversation with entrepreneurs with two entrepreneurs from the UK, and we will share that, and you will be able to watch it live on the Azerbaijan page as well. And this is with two fantastic people. They're from the area of finance and funding, and they will teach you a lot about financial planning strategies and getting funding and things like that. And yeah, that's it from me.
Thank you.
I would like also to thank both of you for the invitation, British Council and Hande, for taking the lead in this conversation. Thank you for the positive vibes. I think it was a really nice 1 hour spent. And I hope actually whatever we just put it here on the table today will be an added value for the people who listened and parted their time to be here today with us.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Einar. Thank you, Hokuma. Thank you to our fantastic speakers today. And thank you to our audience who watched us today and will watch the recording later. Please watch the space. Please watch British Council Azerbaijan Facebook account. We will be sharing much more content and produce more content related to that. And this is all from us today, and wish everyone a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.